I recently read The Invisible Life of Addie Larue by V.E. Schwab, and can I just tell you, this is not Cheers. Not everybody knows her name. In fact, no one knows her name. Addie Larue is a young girl who is supposed to be married, and she doesn't want to get married. She wants to go and live her life, and she's a wanderer and a dreamer, and yet she's forced to get married. She seeks help from all the gods and prays to them. She seeks counsel from a local woman who many consider a witch, and she's just trying to get out of getting married. However, she's told never to pray to the gods in the darkness because it will always end badly. The day she's supposed to get married, she runs off into the woods and cries and prays and tries to hide, and she doesn't realize as she's praying and burying something that's important to her that outside it has gotten dark, and she ends up praying to the gods of the darkness. She is given the opportunity to live out her days forever and see everything that she wants to see and travel through all of the world of time, and the only caveat is that no one will know her name. And she decides to take it, that that's better than being married to this man that she does not want to marry. Her wish is granted, and she immediately leaves the woods. She goes to find her family, who don't remember her. The witch lady doesn't remember her. So then she's left on her own to go and try to live her life. And this was not exactly how she thought things would turn out. She travels through time and sees many places and all sorts of different changes in time. Her clothing has to change, but no one remembers her. She does a lot of stealing because they'll see her one minute, she'll steal some clothes, and then as soon as they look away to call the police or something else, they completely forget about her. No one remembers her name. Until one day, someone does. She meets a young man in a bookstore. She tries to steal a book, and he catches her and remembers. She is completely dumbfounded because no one has remembered her. She steals the book anyway and pretends that she didn't, and then she decides to come back the next day to try to swap her book out, and he remembers her again. This begins an odd friendship between the two because she has to explain the deal she made with the devil. This devil comes and visits her frequently and keeps trying to convince her to go back on her promise and decide to join him for eternity, but she keeps refusing him. It gets harder and harder every time, but she insists on doing it, and it's almost like a game between the two of them. What ensues is a story of connection, friendship, understanding, and determination, and it was quite enjoyable. This was a book I didn't want to put down because just as I started to feel like I was starting to understand something, then a new problem would arise or a new concept, and I just wanted to find out what was happening next and why things were happening the way that they were between the characters. And most of the story is set in present day, where she is living out her current life and getting to know this young man. But there are often flashbacks to the way that her life was lived over all these years. Occasionally she goes back to visit her home, but sees that everything changes more and more over time. This poignant story challenges the idea of if I could go back and change my decision, would I do something differently, and how would life turn out? They say that hindsight is 20/20, but we often have visions of grandeur by making different choices. Check out this book to find out what it's like to be whoever you want to be and to make a choice to live forever, as well as to never be remembered. It was an interesting tale, and one that I can promise you won't forget. Happy reading, everybody!